Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a topic that is fundamentally reshaping the fabric of our digital and, frankly, our physical lives. We're taking a really fascinating, eye-opening journey that starts with some startling microstatistics about digital media and zooms all the way out to a massive societal shift that's completely altering American culture. The data we're about to explore is profound. It shows just how fast society is changing and exactly how technology is totally outpacing our ability to adapt. So let's just jump right in. Okay, let's kick this off by anchoring on a number that is, honestly, pretty visceral: 12. According to a comprehensive survey of over 1,300 teens by Common Sense Media, 12 is now the average age of first exposure to online pornography. It's a stark figure, right? It completely resets how we need to understand the modern digital coming-of-age experience. But here's the thing. This number alone doesn't even tell the whole story of what's bubbling under the surface of our internet ecosystem today. To figure out how we got here, here is our roadmap for today. We're going to hit the AI deepfake explosion, look at why laws can't keep pace, the 3 tectonic shifts colliding right now, the rise of what's being called Sin Nation, and finally, wrap up with a rare moment of bipartisan agreement. All right, Section 1, the AI deepfake explosion, basically a synthetic tidal wave. Now, before we even get into artificial intelligence, we have to look at the baseline, because it was already pretty severe. The data tells us that a full 15% of kids are exposed to online pornography at age 10 or younger. So, online pornography was ubiquitous way before generative AI even entered the chat. But AI? It's acted like pouring gasoline on a fire. And you can really see that acceleration right here. Look at this. Cybersecurity firm Deepfake estimates that deepfake files online absolutely skyrocketed from about 500,000 in 2023 to an estimated 8 million by the end of last year. I mean, that is a vertical climb. We're not talking about a gradual tick upward. We're talking about the absolute saturation of our digital ecosystem in a matter of months. But here's the absolute most crucial part of this: consent. A staggering 98% of these newly generated files are non-consensual. Think about that. 98%. AI hasn't just pumped up the volume of media, it's created a completely new category of harm that barely even existed 2 years ago. The tech has totally democratized the ability to generate hyper-realistic, non-consensual imagery, and it is impacting everyday people at an alarming rate. Moving into Section 2, laws cannot keep pace, because, frankly, our legal system is seriously lagging. So we are seeing this massive disconnect. On the one side, you have the legislative response. Last year, Donald Trump signed the Take It Down Act into law, which criminalizes posting non-consensual intimate images, and it explicitly includes AI deepfakes, which sounds great, right? But then, on the other side, you have a single company, just one company named in a recent lawsuit, claiming they create 1,000 AI-generated influencers every single week. 1,000. Our laws are inherently reactive, and they literally just cannot keep pace with the infinite automated generation of synthetic content. It's a mathematical impossibility for the courts to outrun the code. Which brings us to Section 3. 3 tectonic shifts collide. Let's look at the big picture here. Because this isn't just some localized tech warning about bad algorithms, What we're actually watching is the crazy friction that happens when 3 massive tectonic shifts hit at exactly the same time. We've got fundamental shifts in governance, we're living through a deeply fragmented post-news era, and, of course, we have fully entered the age of AI. Any one of these is a game changer on its own, but all 3 together, they completely reshape the societal landscape. And the result of this collision is crystal clear. On the one hand, AI is supercharging the supply of this content, way beyond what any law could ever possibly manage. And on the other hand, our shattered information ecosystem means we have practically zero common authority left to step in, set boundaries, or apply broad social pressure. So we've basically got infinite supply colliding with zero unified cultural resistance. That leads us right into Section 4, the rise of Sin Nation, the cultural conclusion to all of this. Like I said, any of those shifts would strain a culture. But together, they've created what analysts are calling Sin Nation. It's this cultural state where the government, instead of policing the line on societal vices, well, they've essentially become the cashier. And this extends way beyond just AI deepfakes. It's bleeding into other rapidly scaling vices. Just look at the absolute explosion of legalized sports betting right on our phones. It's literally turning our pockets into 24/7 casinos. And finally, Section 5, a rare bipartisan agreement, how this is actually uniting the left and right. we're actually starting to see a really powerful reaction kick off on the political left. Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez recently put out this stark warning, flat out saying that pervasive gambling is not good for society. She pointed out that it turns life into a casino, traps people in addiction and debt, surges domestic violence, and fosters manipulation. It's a huge warning about how fast vice is scaling up in this sin nation era. But here is what is truly fascinating about this. Look at the immediate horseshoe reality this created. Michael Knowles, Ann Coulter, Eric Erickson, these are really prominent figures from totally different, distinct corners of GOP ideology. And yet, they responded to Representative Ocasio-Cortez's warning in total agreement. I mean, total agreement. It's this wild moment of cultural overlap where the sheer speed of these societal shifts is setting off the exact same alarm bells across completely opposite political philosophies. So the biggest takeaway from all our sources today, pushing back against this massive scaling of vice, whether we're talking about unhinged, non-consensual AI media or gamifying personal debt on sports apps, might actually be one of the very, very few issues uniting the left and the right today. There's this growing consensus across the board that maybe, just maybe, America's scaling of sin went a bit too far and happened entirely too fast. We've covered some serious ground in this explainer, from the shocking data on AI deepfakes to the whole idea of sin nation and this surprise bipartisan pushback. But I want to leave you with one final, provocative question to think about. Will lawmakers actually be able to put politics aside and unite to rein in this technological and cultural tidal wave? Or, given the gridlock we're so used to seeing, even though you legally could now, is betting on political unity just a really bad bet? Thanks so much for joining me to unpack all of this. Keep questioning the world around you, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.